It's Glenn with the Ultimate Freedom. Today we're going to look at an issue that's all too common, and it's unfortunate with 30 amp rigs. The 30 amp plugs melting. I have a solution. Let's rock. So the melting plug issue with 30 amp plugs. This is your hot right there. And as you can see, let's see if I can get a focus on this guy. You can see it's melting, but even the neutral is starting to melt around here. And here's what it was plugged into, definitely melting. And I couldn't pull these two apart when I wanted to pull them apart because they were kind of melty. And so I have found with these, this all black adapter, that they melt. That it's just kind of a thing that they do. And so I'm gonna swap this plug out and I'm gonna show you how. It's 3 wires, it's really easy to do, and I'm gonna replace it with an upgrade, a Camco. Those blades are nice and big in the Camco, and they don't have this black plastic around them. And then the adapter I'm gonna use from now on is not one of those black ones, it's a Camco as well. And what I'm going to do to fix it is, once I replace the plug, which I'm going to show you how to do super simply, is I will never plug this, which is connected to my rig, never plug this into a pedestal. I will plug my 50 amp adapter into the pedestal with these great big blades that never have an issue because they're big enough to sustain plenty of amperage. And then I will only plug my plug into my adapter, and it's perfectly clean. This guy's never been dirty, this guy's never been dirty, this guy goes in here, and I never have a dirty connection. And dirty connections are what builds heat, and over time this guy got dirty, he got hot because he was dirty. Resistance builds heat, and then he melted. So I always plug into, here's the solution, plug into 50 amp with an adapter. Now beyond the adapter, I always use a surge protector. Always. Never plug into power without a surge protector. Crazy things can happen. Here's my surge protector. So I have a 50 amp surge protector, and it has lights that come on and tell you that that post is wired properly. The neutral is in the proper space, the ground's in the proper space, and that both sides of the 50 are hot. Okay, so I plug my adapter into my surge protector, and then I plug into 50 amp. I don't plug into the 30 amp, and it's a better plug. And then my clean and brand new plug plugs into my clean and brand new adapter, and that's how I get around the 30 amp melty issue. Now I inherited this one. Camera went wild. I inherited this one when I bought the rig, and I already owned this guy. So now I'm doing the upgrades, and I'm not going to have to deal with this again. Now on the plug that goes to my RV, these screws are going to come out right here. But if you have one that's molded from the factory and there's no screws, you're going to have to cut it off right here. And you're going to have to get something pretty hefty to cut it off. I like either a Sawzall with a metal blade or a multi-tool with a metal blade, and cut right through it. Then you can strip it back and do the wires. I'm going to take these out, these screws, open this guy up, and then I'll show you what I find. And either we'll use the wires as is, or we'll cut it and start over. Okay, so here's what we found inside. On this side, you can see the wires are mostly intact, but they're just loose wires. So whoever did this did not do what I'm going to do. They did not tin with solder the ends of their wires. And I always do, and it makes for a better connection, because these, over time, the stranded wires, if you leave them this way, they will crush over time, and these will get looser, and then you'll have resistance. It'll get loose and it'll make heat. And so we're not going to do it that way. You got your black, which is hot, your white, which is neutral, your green, which is ground, and there's the black, which got hot because he's pulling all the amperage. Neutral actually got warm as well. And so we're going to take this apart. I'm going to tin the ends of this before I install it into my new Camco plug, as we carry on. Well, interestingly enough, whoever did this in the past, they did tin the neutral, but they didn't tin the others. So I'm gonna make sure all three of them are tinned. I'm gonna probably cut it back, get to new wire, and then tin it and cut them to the length. See, that's cut to length to be able to reach up to there, and I'll get my Camco out and see what I gotta do. Okay, so here's the inside of my Camco, and as you can see, B for black, hey, come on, B for black, white, W for white, green for ground, black, white, ground. So it's labeled on the inside of here. And now I'm going to strip these guys back. I've got them cut to length so that the black, the white, and then the green will reach the places they're supposed to. And then I'm going to tin them, but I got to go buy solder. I'll be back, and you won't even know I went all the way to the hardware store and back. Here we go. Okay, here are my wires cut to length. And then when I say tinned, I'm going to tin the ends. T-I-N-E-D, tin, tinned. All I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with solder so that it becomes a solid component. Because otherwise, over time, these guys can spread and they will move. And as they spread and move and they squish because they're not a solid item, see that? Then it gets loose. There's just no way around it. But when you tin them and you fill them full of solder, then what you have is you have a solid item, and I'll show it to you as soon as I'm done. And then it won't squish over time and you'll stay tight. And there we have it. Black, white, green. That simple. Now I'll put the plug together. And there we have it. Now another thing I like about this plug, this Camco, is that those machine screws are in a blind nut inside this piece, which holds it keeps the cord from pulling out of the plug, and you cannot with all your might pull this out because of those machine screws in there, those blind nuts and machine screws. It's a really good design. Also behind these blades right here, behind all three of these, they are backstopped. So they can't push in. You can't lose them to the inside, which I have seen happen on other brands as well. So there it goes. There's the new plug. And the reason this is not going to melt is my brand new plug into my brand new adapter. And this plug is never going anywhere but this adapter. This is mine. This is mine. This is clean. This is clean. That's the way it goes. And I can clean those easily, and those go into my surge protector. I'll show you that. So there's my brand new adapter. My brand new adapter only goes into my surge protector, and the only plugs that go in and out of public places is that guy. And those those are easy to clean, big prongs, and they go right there. And now I know this one's good, but before I plug him in, I plug this guy in and I look at the lights to make sure that this pedestal is good. And there's the lights that show me the pedestal is good. And then there's a legend down here that tells you what different light colors mean. So that means ground is good, neutral's good, and it's the polarity is not swapped. I am now powered up with my brand new plug. So there you have it, a simple way to keep your 30 amp plug from melting. I'm a heavy power user. I run 2 air conditioners on a 30 amp rig sometimes, and I know I'm pulling 30 to 35 amps sometimes. And like I said, breakers aren't perfect, and so I get right up to that limit. That's a lot to go through that little tab. So keep those tabs clean. Get an adapter to a 50 amp and it'll help a lot. And when you do have to plug into straight 30 amp, then make sure your prongs and everything are clean every single time, and clean them again and again. I've cleaned these I don't know how many times. This is my household adapter. So I run the mini split on this guy in a 30 amp plug. And so if you got something out of this video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.